So hello and welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to do a full face of makeup with using only Primark products. I've had to scrape a few bits together, obviously because we're in lockdown at the moment, not being able to go to Primark to buy anything. So I've been through my whole collection, had a look, and apart from one or two things, I've got enough to do a full face. So finally found a use for this tray from Home Bargains. Right, okay, so I have got this kabuki brush. This isn't something I would normally use for powder foundation. I'd normally use this for wet, but let's give it a go and let's see how we go on. This is the pressed powder foundation in the colour Ivory, and this is £2 and has a matte finish. So I'm just going to put that over my face. Now, the only problem with powder foundation, I find it sits in lines a little bit. That's why I've stopped wearing it so much. That's why I went over to a liquid foundation. Right, and what I'm going to do, I don't normally use concealer, but because I've bought some, I'm going to give it a go. So this is the liquid concealer, medium coverage in the colour Porcelain. So I'm going to put a little bit on the spotty areas. I've got no spots, I've got them there. And then I'm going to use a bit on my lids as an eyeshadow primer. And then I'll put a little bit under my eyes just to blend that in a little bit. What brush can we use for that? Probably shouldn't really use this, but I'm going to. This end is quite fluffy. Just to blend that in a little bit. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop a little bit on my nose as well, because that's where, I don't know why, just down the sides of my nose. I think that's as you get older you start getting that. I've started getting a few different bits up here as well. Right, so that's the base for the face. Let's start with now a little bit of eyeshadow. So, a few people have asked me to do some eyeshadow looks, which I'm not overly comfortable about doing. I'm not that confident at eye makeup yet. I mean, that's ridiculous coming from a 44-year-old woman. But no, what I mean is I don't wear an awful lot of eyeshadow. So I've been playing around quite a bit recently, and I'm going to have an attempt now to sort of recreate a look I did not long ago, which I actually quite liked. And it was quite a pinky rose goldy colour. So I bought this palette last summer. And I do think, I've said it before on my channel, I think Primark sort of recycle the colours again, but put them in new makeup palettes. So it's absolutely lovely. It's called the Rose Quartz eyeshadow palette, and it's got some beautiful different colours in there. Some are matte, some are shimmery, golds, pinks. So I start with Honey Pot in the corner, and I'll just put that on as a base. So let me put that on right now. So this is one of their eyeshadow brushes from the PS range. So like I say, I'm just going to put a bit of Honey Pot all over my eye. I've just got a mirror to the side of me, so if I look away, please do excuse me. Oh, it's a brand new brush. It's a bit crunchy. So this colour's not overly pigmented, but it just does enough to create quite a nice base for the rest of the colour to go over. The skin over my eyes is a little bit discoloured compared to the rest of my face, as is I'm sure most people's are the same. Especially over your eyelids, they just look very veiny. So that's why I always like to have a bit of a base to start with, just to colour some, just to get rid of some of that discoloration. So that's that all blended in now. Next, I'm going to go for, I want to incorporate this colour somewhere along the way because I really like that. So I think, I don't know if I go for Goldie or for Pinky. So I'm going to go for this one at the bottom, Blush Hour, and I'm going to sweep that over, just up over the lid and into the crease. Just going to use the same brush again, just to add a bit of colour to the eyelids. So I'm going to sort of keep to the side of the eye, but go probably about 3/4 over, but just leave a little bit on the side closer to the nose. And I am going to work it up into just above the crease into the eyebrow, but leave a little bit of a gap where I've got the original colour, so it's not taking it all the way up. Now I know a lot of people do the videos and they just do one eye and then go away and do the other, but I can't do that. I forget which ones I've used. So that's just quite a subtle colour. So the colour that I like, Goldstone, I'm now going to put on the inner part of the eye, and then we'll see how that looks and if we need to add any more colour to it. So this double-ended one I showed you earlier, I'm going to pack a bit of colour in using the sort of more dumpy end. So the two I've used so far are matte, whereas this one's a bit of a shimmer. And what I'm doing with that, I'm not actually going into the crease, I'm just going up to the crease. So just that tiny little bit, sort of 1/3 of the eyelid. It's almost a pinky gold colour, this. It's absolutely lovely palette, this. It was only about £8. In fact, no, I think I got it in the sale at the end of the year. I did. I only paid £4 for it. It was £8 originally. Right, and then what I'm going to do, I quite like, down the middle of the eye, I like to add a little bit more of a brighter sort of shimmery colour. So I'm going to go for this one here, I think, Moulin Rouge. Now, let me just show you this. I think I might have covered this already on my channel before. This is absolutely fantastic. So if you've not got very many makeup brushes, which, because I'm using all Primark ones, I haven't got much of a selection today. It's a makeup cleaner sponge, and all it is, it's a piece of sponge. Watch how this cleans this up. It's brilliant. Look at that now. Clean. Good to go again. Ooh. Right, so now I've been able to clean that, I want to use that end again to put the sort of brighter colour down the middle, like I've just said. Let's see how that works. Can you see? Just building it up in the middle. And the other side. So obviously I'm not going to leave it like that. That needs blending out a little bit. So I'm going to go with the fluffy brush. I'm going to use the one at the top here, which is Starshine. And I'm just going to take a bit of that out on the brush and just sort of blend it all in, just very gently. That's going over the top of all of it. Just to sort of blend it in, can you see? It just sort of blends each of the colours in, so you've not got any of those stripes like you have. You can see the difference? Just very gently, because you don't want to take too much of the colour off. Just going to add a little bit of flamingo at the end of the eye, just to just create a bit of colour at each side of the eye. So just a tiny little bit here, just up above the crease. Right, so there it is, all blended in. I like that, it's got quite a little bit of colour going through it. Okay, so I just need to sort the under eyes out. Problem is with this, it's got quite a lot of fallout. Just going to go in gently with one of these. These are the cotton buds from Primark. Great two-ended thing. You've got the flat side there and then the sharp side there. Absolutely fantastic for clearing up makeup fallout. Right, so that's neatened that up a bit. Now for a little bit of eyebrow. I've dyed my eyebrows this morning. I'm really pleased with how they've taken. I actually used a little angled brush to put the product on with this morning, rather than a big fluffy brush thing that I've been using, and it's taken so much better, so much neater. Right, so I'll just add a tiny little bit of colour and shape. So I use the Brow Sketch, £2, absolutely love this. I've been using this product for a couple of months now and I use it every day. Really like it. So just brush the brows at the front, sort of against their natural flow, just to get them up and fluffy. So what I tend to do with this product is I sort of sketch the outside, the outline of the eyebrow, and now I'll just blend those with the spoolie. I'm just filming at the minute. Okay. don't know if you're the same as me. One eyebrow always goes really well, the other side doesn't. Anyway, that will do for today. So what I'm going to do on the top of those now is use an eye, I don't know, you call it eye gel? Brow gel, that's the one. I've used this quite a lot. It was clear. So this is only £1, again from Primark. You've just got a tiny little brush, and it's just a clear gel. It's like clear mascara, but for your brows, and it really does help just to set them in place. It just gives them a bit more definition. You can see on the hairs just as I put that on. Now sometimes as well I with my finger just brush them flat. It just sort of keeps them. It's like a little hairspray for your eyebrows. There we go, that's the brows now in place. Right, one thing I've not got, eyeliner. So I'm going to have to use some eyeliner from somewhere else, which is a bit of a letdown. But so this is just an eyeliner I got from Sephora. Sephora in Flirting Game. I like the sound of that. And it's just sort of a taupe, I'd call it, sort of a brownie colour. So I'm just going to go in the eye line and then just a bit above the top lash. So a bit of mascara next. This is Fake It, and this is £2.50. Absolutely love this mascara. It's one of my favourites now. And it's in, the only problem is they only do them in one colour, so black. I do prefer a brownie black if I can get hold of one, but I don't tend to do different colours. That a bit of a neaten up. Why is it I cannot do that without going? And then I'm only going to put a little bit on the top lashes because I'm actually going to have a go at putting some false lashes on. So just a little bit of mascara. And now let's have a go at putting on these lashes. So this is the set I've bought. This is again from Primark. They're only £1 and you get 30 individual lashes, which are, and these I've gone for short, and they're like little cluster lashes. Can you see? So I'm just going to put a couple on the outskirts of the eyelid. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put, they sell this adhesive in Primark as well. It's not actually Primark's own brand, it's the Duo. So I'm going to just put a smidge on my hand and then attempt to use these. So just a little bit on the cluster, just let that dry off a little bit. Right, so that's the first 4. I've put 4 little clusters on there. Now bearing in mind I haven't got much mascara on the front, so I will blend that in with a bit more mascara, but they look quite pretty, don't they? So I've put 4 clusters on each eye now. So they're quite nice if you don't want to go for a full length of lash, if you're maybe new to the world of lashes like me. They're quite subtle and just add a little bit of fluffiness. And then I'll just build it up a bit on the inner part of the eye just to blend it in a little bit. So that's the eye makeup now finished, the eyeshadow and lashes in place. Quite pleased with that. Okay, so I'll just finish off now with a little bit of bronzer, a little bit of highlighter and a bit of blush maybe. So for bronzer I'm going to go in with this, very similar to what I used on my face earlier. The pressed foundation, and this is in Toffee. So this is a really good idea as a bronzer goes if you still want to add a little bit of makeup to your face, because it's not just colour. So I've got this in 2 different shades. I've got caramel and toffee, so probably a bit paler, so let's go for the toffee shade. Big fat brush, this is a large powder brush. Love this, look how fat it is. And then I'm just going to get a bit of that, just go over. Just add a bit of colour to my face. It is quite warm actually, my cheeks are a bit pink. This brush is probably a little bit big for doing this actually. Yeah, I've got this as well. This is a large fan brush. I think I'm going to use that because that's got a bit more control over it. And that's better. They say, don't they, you're supposed to do like a 3. I've got quite a sharp jawline, so I don't tend to take it all the way down under my chin because I don't want any more attention being brought to that angle. But I will just put a bit on my neck just to give me a bit of colour. This is matte, so you don't have any shine from it either, which is quite nice. Because you can, of course, add a bit of shine with your highlighter if you want to. I'm not a massive contour person, but I have got some of this. This is a foundation and contour stick in the colour Chai. So I'll just put a tiny little bit on and then we'll blend that in. So just going to do a little, just a very discreet amount. And then I've got this brush here. This is a buffing and blending brush. I really like this. It's like got the dense hairs and then on the top, not so thick, not so dense. So let's just blend that in. Just very subtle bit of contouring. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of highlight on. Again, I don't go too crazy with that. So these came in a set together. You've got like a cream highlight, which is like a lipstick, and then a powder one, and I absolutely love this powder one. So I'm going to just put that on with a nice thin fan brush, just a little bit on the cheekbones. Don't put any on my nose, don't want to be drawing any attention to that. I really need to learn how to contour my nose because it is quite large, and I need to learn how to do that, but I'm worried I might make it look bigger. And then just to finish, a little bit of blusher. Love this kit. This is the Rose Quartz kit that I bought. I think I got it last summer. As you can see, I'm doing quite well on it. And I love the shade in the corner. It's called Too Much. And then we'll go back with this big fat large powder brush and just gives a little dusting on the cheeks. So I'll use the other side rather than the bit that we picked the brown up with. And I quite like that going on top of the highlighter because then it just calms the highlighter down a bit, but it gets underneath the blush, so it gives it a nice little sort of subtle pop of colour and shine. And then just to finish that look off, I'm going to add a little bit of lipstick. So this is from the Floral Days collection, a dewy lipstick in Peony. Love this, it's really nice. And there we go, that's all finished. I'll just come in closer so you can see the finished look. It's amazing to think that whole face of makeup and brushes probably didn't cost me, I'd say probably about 30 quid, which when you think how much, you know, you can spend that on one item sometimes. So yeah, I like that. I think that's a nice sort of springtime fresh look. Probably a little bit more than I'd wear normally in the daytime because it is quite bright, the eyeshadow and the lipstick. So I really enjoyed doing that. Like I said earlier during the video, I'm not exactly an expert at makeup or eyeshadows, but I'm pleased with how that's turned out. I just hope it picks up on screen as well as it sort of looks in the mirror, which is behind where you are. The colours look lovely. Anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed that video. If you're not already a subscriber, it'd be great if you wanted to hit that little button and leave me a little comment below what you thought about it, or if there's any products in Primark that you use which I should have a look out for when we can get back in the shops. So I shall leave it for now. Thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.